Hello, Bruce.
Hi, Simon.
How are you today?
I'm feeling fantastic. Thank you very much. How are you?
That's jolly good. I am not too shabby, thanks.
Good. Good. What you been up to?
Oh, this and that, you know.
Been hanging around?
Hanging around.
Upside down?
Yes, all that kind of thing, yeah. Flying about a bit.
So, Simon, Factoraly.
Yes.
Explain in 15 words or less.
15 or less.
What is Factoraly?
Factoraly is viewers at home can't see this, but I'm counting this out on my fingers. Factoraly is a podcast all about facts and stuff with me, Simon, and you, Bruce.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was completely unrehearsed. The long version of that is me, Simon Wells, him, Bruce Fielding. We're both voiceover artists. We like voicey things. And,
yes.
We're both nerds. We love facts. We love random useless trivia. Put all that together and ta-da.
What have you got?
Factoraly.
So, yes. So, we've done over 100 episodes now. Please see some of our back catalogue because you won't have... I mean, we can't remember what we've done.
No.
So, if we can't remember it, you probably can't either.
The number of conversations I have with people and I start, sort of reciting some particular interesting fact. And I think, where on earth have I heard that before? Oh, that's right. That was on my podcast. It all just sort of blends into one after a while.
It does. It's all fine. It doesn't matter where you get the information because you store it in your brain anyway.
Exactly. See our episode on brains.
What are we talking about this week, Simon, on Factoraly?
This week on Factoraly, we are going to be talking about bats.
Bats.
Yeah.
What sort of bats? Cricket bats? Tennis bats?
Loads of bats. Well, hopefully we're not talking about tennis bats because those are called rackets.
Are they? Okay.
See our episode on tennis.
Yes. Oh, yes. Very good link. Thank you very much.
There
you go. I think the furry ones.
The furry. Well, I think we'll stick with the furry bats. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
much easier, isn't it?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Tell me about bats. Why is bat? What is bat? Where is bat?
What is bat? Bat is a flying mammal of the order Chiroptera.
Very good.
Which is, roughly speaking, Latin for hand wings.
Well, which makes sense.
It does, doesn't it? It's nice to have some interesting etymology for a change. We've had some dull ones lately. So bat comes...
And even in the three letters, we get an interesting etymology.
Even in those three letters, yeah. It actually gets longer the further back you go.
Okay.
So bat used to be in Middle English Bacchae, B-A-K-K-A.
Right.
Which itself came from Norse leoblaka, which means leather flapper. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
A leather flapper. And the blaka part comes from the Proto-Germanic blak, B-L-A-K, meaning to strike or to hit, i.e. it's using its wings to strike the air, which is also why the sporting implements are called bat, because of that connection with blak, meaning to strike or to hit.
Okay.
So it's all connected.
Right.
Bats are related to bats.
Good. I mean, there's lots of other names for bats, aren't there?
Oh, there are loads. What have you found?
Well, I mean, there's flying foxes for a kickoff.
Of course, yeah.
My first encounter with a huge amount of flying foxes was in Melbourne.
Oh, really?
In the Botanics in Melbourne. Then they got rid of them all because people were upset that there were too many bats.
Oh.
And then about 20 years ago, they got rid of them. Now they're coming back.
Are they?
People have kind of gone, actually, do you know what we quite like, the flying foxes?
They're all right, really.
Yeah. So they're making a comeback.
Oh, good for them.
But there are also things like flittermouse.
Yes. Isn't that a great name?
Flittermouse I like. That's an Old English and Germanic name for a bat.
Yeah.
Where you get Fledermaus as well.
Yes, that's right.
I remember going to a horror movie thing, and they had lots of different horror movies on, including one which was Die, Fledermaus. Anyway, sorry.
That's how I've always read that, yes.
Yes. Rattlemouse, which is another medieval term for a bat. Rivemus, which is shaky mouse.
Shaky mouse, isn't it? I read that one as well, yeah.
Yes. Pipistrelle.
Yep. So a pipistrelle is a variety of bat.
It is.
As is the flying fox. I think flying fox is a nickname for a subspecies of fruit bat, isn't it?
That's right, yes. That's a large, big fruit bat.
They're massive, aren't they?
They are huge.
It's interesting how many different types of bat there are, I suppose, wherever you are from in the world, you've got your own particular local variety, and that's what you would think of as a bat.
There are 1,400 varieties of bat. In fact, 25%, I think slightly more than 25% of all the world's mammals are bats.
Isn't that phenomenal?
And number 2 on the list is vermin, rats and mice.
Right, really?
So there are more bats than there are rats and mice.
Oh, that's great. It's preposterous, isn't it? So 1,400 species in the world.
Yes.
18 species in the UK.
Wow.
And again, yeah, that sort of figure sort of stands up. In the UK, we've got about 90 species of indigenous mammal. So the fact that we've got 18 species of bat, that's sort of, just a bit under a quarter of the UK's mammals species are bat species. That's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, Hawaii has a national bat.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's the state bat of Hawaii. It's the Hawaiian hoary bat.
Oh, the hoary bat. Yes, I remember reading about the hoary bat. Yes, this could very easily just turn into a scientific lecture about animals and their sizes and their dimensions and their characteristics and so on.
But let's start off with what people know about bats.
Okay, let's do that.
What do you think people know about bats?
Roughly speaking, they're those funny little things that flap about in the air around dusk.
Yes. So they flap around, so they can actually fly. They're mammals that can fly.
There you go, yes. Let's start with that.
So they're flying mice.
So all other allegedly flying mammals don't actually fly, they glide. So bats have a really unique wing structure. If you look at the skeleton of a bat, it's even creepier than looking at a bat. If you sort of picture a bat with its wings outstretched, they have vertical lines down the wings, keeping the wing taut.
Yes.
Those are actually their finger bones.
Oh, wow.
So if you look at the skeleton of a bat, its wing, it sort of has its arms outstretched to the side, and then it just has preposterously long finger bones, which are the spines of the wings.
Yes.
They can manipulate their wings really, really well.
Well, they can pick stuff up, can't they, with their thumb and finger?
Yeah, so they actually have little sort of claws on the end of those tips. So they actually flap, they actually fly rather than just glide. And they're very nimble, very versatile flyers.
Yes.
They can switch and turn and dive and all sorts.
Which
very,
is
very
why
rapidly.
they hang upside down, because it's a better takeoff. In fact, if you could hang an aeroplane upside down, you'd use up a lot less energy taking off, because you just let go and then gravity would make you pick up speed.
Is that why they do that?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I didn't see that. That's great. I've often wondered, what's the point of a bat hanging upside down other than to look cute? How interesting.
Yeah, it's aerodynamics.
Huh.
What else do you know about bats?
They have quite a variety of feeding habits.
Yes.
Depending on the type of bat.
Yeah.
So I guess our closest experience of bats is the fairly cute little ones that you see flying around the English countryside, zigzagging all over the place. They're eating insects.
Yes.
They catch and eat insects on the wing.
They can eat a lot.
They can eat a heck of a lot, can't they?
There's a brown bat. One brown bat can catch around 1,200 mosquito-sized insects in an hour.
Good grief. The pipistrelle bat that you mentioned earlier on, that's the UK's smallest variety of bat. It comes under a section of bats called microbats.
Microbat.
Which I think is fantastic.
Yeah,
we have
it's
microbats and megabats. The flying fox is a megabat.
Okay.
Anyway, the pipistrelle, tiny little thing. It's about 3 inches long, nose to tail, and only about 5 inches wingspan. It's quite small.
Yes.
And they're the things that flap about really, really quickly. As soon as you see it, it's gone, and you sort of think to yourself, was that a bat or was that just a really large moth? Those guys can eat up to 3,000 insects in an evening, which is a lot of insects.
That's a lot of insects. There's one called a fruit bat. I'm guessing.
Good. Yeah, they do. It's in the name, isn't it? So the cute little ones that hang out at dusk in the UK eat insects. The great big ones, including the flying fox, which is a sub-variety of fruit bats, they do eat fruit, as the name suggests. And they have really good eyesight and really good smell, and they just fly about both day and night. Those ones are not just nocturnal. They do appear in daytime. And they hang around in fruit trees and guzzle fruit.
Yep. They also eat pollen.
Oh, do they?
So actually, bats are one of the biggest pollinators of various different vegetation actually in the world.
Ah.
Put it this way, without bats, there would be no tequila.
Oh, that would be a loss.
Because bats are the animal that pollinate the agave plant.
Huh.
So without agave, no tequila.
And bats are the only creatures that pollinate that plant?
Yeah. And they also pollinate bananas,
Mm-hmm.
mangoes, and avocados.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you very much, bats.
What else do they eat? They eat fish.
Oh, do they?
So there are bats that can like swoop down and they kind of use their claws to like pick up fish from like just under the surface. They kind of spot where the fish are.
Sort of like a sea eagle.
A bit like that, but a bat.
But a bat, yeah, sure. Oh, brilliant.
So, yeah, I mean, there's loads of things they eat.
It's just because there are so many species of these things,
Yes.
and they're all quite diverse. you
Yes.
know, and therefore they live in different places. They've evolved in different ways. They eat different things. How wonderful that you've found a few that I didn't get into. There are so many of them.
So what else do we know about bats? Oh, they're blind.
Right? As blind as a bat.
Yes.
I bet they're not.
No, they're not.
No.
So bats have perfectly good eyesight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in fact, it's actually really good in low light conditions because they tend to live in darker places, so their eyes are accustomed to low levels of light.
Yes.
But the other thing we know about bats is that they use echolocation.
They do.
They are really, really good echolocators,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons they can find fish and stuff like that, and insects.
Yeah.
They make these little squeaks, and they listen to the echo of the squeak,
Isn't it clever?
so they know where they are.
Which is the same thing that dolphins and some
Yes.
types of whale do.
Yeah, exactly.
All those clicks and whistles.
Exactly. They're just brilliant.
Yeah. They do that at such a high frequency. Obviously, we humans can't hear them at all. They just seem to us to be totally silent.
Yes.
I remember going on a bat walk with my son a few years ago. His school organised a bat walk. And we went for a walk along the River Thames at dusk with these little bat detectors in hand, which sort of sounds like something Batman would have on his utility belt. you know.
Yes.
Hand me the bat detector. We each had a little bat detector. We had a little box that picked up these high frequencies. And then,
And showed a needle moving or something.
well, it actually made it audio. It actually
okay.
transposed it down to a lower frequency that we could
Right.
hear. So we were sort of standing there pointing these boxes into the sky, and they emitted this series of very, very rapid clicks.
Yes.
And you just sort of pointed it where the clicks were and looked up and, oh, look, there's a bat.
There's a bat.
Yeah, very clever. And
Brilliant.
they use that both to navigate so that they don't crash into a tree,
Yeah.
but also to hunt their prey. You know, their hearing is so sensitive that these high frequency noises bounce off a fly or a moth or whatever it might be and back to the bat's ear that lets it know, oh look, that's this size insect or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Very clever.
So because their hearing is so good and they do specialize in what they eat and stuff like that, there is a bat that can hear the rustling of a certain insect
Right.
and go and get it.
Okay.
And that bat is called a cricket bat.
Wow. That was, how long did it take you to come up with that?
I did some searching.
You said earlier on that they're essentially flying mice. And
Yes.
Quite a few of their names are mouse related. So the Fledermaus is the
Yes.
flickering mouse, or
Yeah.
we had a shaky mouse or whatever it was. Completely and utterly not related to mice in any way, shape or form. They just happen to look a bit, well, they don't really actually. If you really look at a bat, it doesn't look like a
No.
mouse at all.
If you look.
So they're, according to the Smithsonian Institution, they're actually more closely related to primates than they are to rodents.
Oh,
So
okay.
the whole idea of them being a mouse with wings, completely erroneous.
So what else do bats do?
Well, some of them, not very many of them, but some of them,
They drink your blood.
you knew where I was going. They do. And again, I mean, crikey, doesn't that just show what a wide variety of them there are? From great big, massive, foxy-looking things that hang on trees and drink fruit,
Yes.
to these little, creepy, villainous-looking things that suck the blood out of animals. What a huge variety.
Well, they don't suck exactly, do they?
Well, they sort of...
They make a hole and then lap it up.
And then they lap it up, yes. They lap. I don't think vampires would sound quite as menacing if they just lapped. I want to lap your blood. It just doesn't... It's not the same, is it?
No, it really isn't. But there's only about 4 varieties of the 1,400 that are actually vampire bats.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're not very big, and they don't worry people very much. They, they sort of smaller animals they kind of go for.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they do is when they're going after their prey, they don't fly, they walk.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So they fly around until they spot something, but then they land, and then they crawl along the floor on all fours.
Yes.
And climb up. I don't know, let's say, because again, nocturnal, the other animals are sleeping. Let's say it flies over a farm and it finds a sleeping pig. So it'll crawl along the floor, climb up the side of the pig.
Yes.
It will lick a particular spot on the pig. It has heat sensors in its nose.
Yes.
So that it can tell where the warmest part of the animal is, and therefore that's where the blood is closest to the surface. They lick that spot to tenderize the skin slightly so it's easier for them to bite. They take a bite with really sort of vampire-y looking incisor teeth that make it bleed, and then they just lap up the blood on the surface of the wound.
Yes.
Very clever.
And so that they can fly away with a full stomach, as they're drinking the blood, they urinate.
All right.
Because otherwise they'd be too heavy. So they need to lose some liquid.
Okay.
At some point. I mean, again, you wouldn't see Dracula sucking the blood and then sort of like
then taking a leak.
The same. Yeah, exactly. That's why you never see Dracula in linen.
That's why he wears black, to hide the... Oh, brilliant. Now, I had a little look on this. This isn't really about bats. It's more about vampires. But because there is a breed called vampire bat, it piqued my curiosity. And it's often occurred to me which came first? Did we have the vampires or the vampire bats first? And which one was named after the other?
Yes.
That kind of thing.
And was it just Bram Stoker?
Right. So for a start, it wasn't just Bram Stoker. There were vampire stories before he wrote Dracula. They were already an existing thing based on folklore from different parts of Europe. The vampire bat first became called the vampire bat in 1810. That was the first time it was written down in a document. And it was when a particular group of Europeans moved to Central America. They discovered these bats. They realized they drank blood, and they said, that's a bit like a vampire, isn't it? We'll call it a vampire bat. So the bat is named after the vampire, not the other way around.
Right.
But the first mention of a vampire turning into a bat didn't happen until the 1860s in a book called The Vampire, which predates Dracula. So there was a good 50 years between the bat being named after the vampire,
yes,
because they drink blood and they lurk around at night, and then the vampire turning into a vampire bat. So it happened that way round. I'd always assumed the vampire bats were named after the fact that vampires turned into bats, but it was actually the other way around.
Got it.
By a good 50 years.
That's interesting.
I thought so. That's where I spent quite a long period of my research on this.
So, I've never heard of anybody having a pet bat.
Neither have I.
I have, however, heard of the American Army trying to train bats.
No.
So they thought, what we should do is we'll go and we'll drop a whole load of bats that have got like a little bit of napalm or something strapped to their back. And they'll go to all the hangars of the Japanese Air Force.
Right.
And they'll go and hide in the top of the hangars. And then we'll sort of detonate the napalm and we'll set fire to the Japanese Air Force.
Oh, poor bats.
They decided against it after the first test when they basically burned an army base to the ground because they returned home to where they come from.
Oh. Oh, no.
Yeah, that didn't work out quite so well.
Whoops.
I tell you what, we have a blog.
Oh, yes, we do.
And I will put a link to the US military bomber bats in this week's blog at Factoraly.com.
Factoraly.com.
So if you go there, you'll find an awful lot of stuff that you really... If you're bored one evening, it's a very good way of, instead of watching TV, just go to one of our blogs.
Whatever material we present to you in this roughly half an hour episode, there's a lot more of it at the blog.
Yes. So there's a song that I should mention.
Right.
sung by a guy called Marvin Lee Adey.
I'm racking my brains.
So Marvin Lee Adey was also known as Meatloaf.
Bat Out of Hell.
And Jim Steinman wrote an opera called Neverland.
Right.
It's all about Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. And there were 2 or 3 songs on that he thought were really good. He never got the rock opera produced, but he really liked this song, Bat Out of Hell. And he shared it with a friend of his called Todd Rundgren.
Right.
Todd Rundgren and Jim Steinman sort of met up with a film director called Ken Russell because they were trying to get him to produce this rock opera.
Yeah.
And Ken Russell said, there's this guy I know called Marvin Adey who would be a really good person to sing this song, Bat Out of Hell. So Meatloaf got that. And the other ones that came from Neverland, the opera, were Heaven Can Wait and All Revved Up and No Place to Go, which are 2 other tracks on the album, Bat Out of Hell.
Well, I didn't know any of the above.
In fact, the first guitar riff in Bat Out of Hell is played by Todd Rundgren.
Is it really?
Yeah, who was a fantastic musician.
That's brilliant. Oh, it would never even occurred to me to go down the Meatloaf direction. That's fantastic. Well done.
Thank you. So at this point in the show, Simon, I often ask you whether there are any records related to bats. I can't believe there would be many records that are related to bats, but are there any?
There are some. We've got the traditional old "What's the biggest bat in the world?" and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
That's
Is it a wingspan thing?
Yeah, it is a wingspan thing.
Okay, can I have a go?
Go on.
Is it more than 60 centimetres?
Oh, heck yes.
Oh, okay, more than a metre.
Yeah.
Okay, so how big a wingspan are we talking?
It's almost 5 feet.
What?
Yeah. It's called the Giant Golden-Crowned Flying Fox. Doesn't that trip off the tongue?
That's lovely.
Isn't it?
The golden crowned. I imagine it's got some sort of like blonde highlights.
Well, it's more orange, really.
Okay.
If you look the thing up, it's sort of got a reddy, orangey ginger. It does look like a fox, hence the name.
Okay.
It's sort of quite ginger, but it's got a little bit of yellowy fur atop its head.
Okay. We could put a picture in the show notes on the blog.
I swear we could, yeah. And this thing lives around the Philippines, and it's blooming large. It's sort of about its body is about a foot in length, and its wingspan is between 4 and 5 feet.
Wow.
Thank goodness that's one of the fruit bats,
yes,
not one of the vampire bats, because otherwise that would be scary as heck.
Where does this live?
In the Philippines.
In the Philippines. So remind me not to go to the Philippines.
It's quite cute, actually. We'll put a photo of it up on the show notes. It's actually quite a beautiful looking animal.
All right.
Until, you see 50 of them hanging upside down in a tree in broad daylight, then it's a little bit creepy.
That would be creepy.
So that's the biggest bat. The largest colony of bats, you talked about bats hanging upside down in a cave.
Mm-hmm.
There is a cave in Texas called the Bracken Cave, and I find this absolutely impossible to accept, but there are flocks of bats in this cave numbering around 15 million individual bats.
Wow.
When these things leave the cave, and they have a tendency to all leave at once, when dusk falls, this absolute cloud of bats leaves the cave. It can be picked up by weather satellite systems, Bruce.
No.
It's that big. Isn't that incredible?
If I can find video of this, I'll put it on the show notes.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And then the second mention of cricket bats, just because you type into Google world record bats,
yes,
sports comes up.
You get a very big cricket bat.
The world's largest cricket bat. Have a guess.
I would imagine. Well, I know for a fact that they've limited the width of a bat now.
Oh, have they?
Because when they first started playing cricket, people were showing up with bats the width of the wicket.
Oh, I see. Really wide bats.
Yes. So you could basically put your bat in front of the wicket.
Yes.
And there's no way a ball could actually get at the wicket.
Cheat.
And that was considered cheating.
Yes.
So I would say maybe 6 meters.
Okay, not bad.
Because you couldn't hit. I mean, if it's that long, unless it's made of something super light.
Take a few of you to use it, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so not too far out. 17 meters.
How long is a cricket pitch?
I don't know actually. It's
a chain, isn't it? It's 22 yards.
Oh right, well yeah.
And that's about 20 meters. And this thing is how big?
So this is 17.08 meters long. So it's almost a cricket pitch.
So you technically hit the ball, take a step forward, and then put your bat in the crease the other end.
Yes, exactly, yeah. As you can imagine, it's not functional. It's a complete novelty.
Right, okay.
This was created by Pernod Ricard, the champagne and spirit manufacturer in India.
Okay.
They made this thing in 2021. And it's just a novelty thing. It stands in the middle of a road as a landmark, as a tribute to the India cricket team.
It's a bit like the spoon on our episode on spoons. We had Uri Geller's spoon.
Oh yes,
outside his house.
Giant spoon in his house. Yeah, exactly like that. Or the giant chicken or the roundabout near Dorking or whatever it is. It's a novelty large item that says something about the local area.
Okay.
So that's the world's largest cricket bat.
Okay.
Which has nothing to do with bats. So
no.
There we go. Thus endeth my records.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I don't have much else to say about bats.
No, I think all of my bat facts have flapped off.
Yep, mine have transmogrified into a wolf.
Excellent.
So thank you very much for listening. Please listen again, because if you subscribe to Factoraly.com, you will get a notification on your podcast player every week, every Thursday, to tell you there's a new episode.
Isn't that something to look forward to?
What else should they do, Simon?
What else they could do is to go onto their podcast player of choice and leave a lovely review and a glowing 5-star rating for us.
5-bat review.
5-bat review, indeed.
Or you can tell your friends. You might have friends who are into bats, or if they're just nerdy.
Yeah.
Just say there's a nerdy thing you can listen to.
Anyone is welcome.
Or you can write to us. We've probably got stuff wrong. In fact, we just had a very nice email from the British Library.
We did, yes.
Telling us that we got it all right for our episode on libraries.
Yes, we did. There you go. A glowing recommendation there. Not bad,
there you go. And, so you can go to our Facebook page and complain about us there. Mm-hmm. You can write to us, hello@factoraly.com.
Yeah.
Or if you see us in the street, just kind of go, you're bats.
You're bats. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming along to listen to us. We hope you'll come and listen again to the next episode. Same bat time, same bat channel. For another exciting instalment of
Factoraly.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.